Let's talk closing costs. Closing costs are something that I feel like a lot of people forget to budget for, and they can be substantial. Like I would assume $10,000 minimum for most people, and the bigger the loan, the more expensive they're going to be. So closing costs are things like the fees your lender charges, the fees the escrow company charges, the title search fees, the taxes. There might be like transfer taxes or things that the county charges you. You have to prepay your taxes often, depending on when you're buying your house in the year. That's your property taxes. It will be any prepaids that you have to do, which includes that. If you are getting a mortgage and you're putting less than 20% down, the mortgage company is going to make you get what's called an escrow account, and they're going to fund it with a couple of months usually of mortgage and interest payments and taxes and insurance and all of that. So you actually have to pay a couple months ahead of time, and that adds up, and that's going to be in your closing costs. There's likely your appraisal fees in there. There's just all kinds of fees that you're going to need to pay in the closing costs. So when you are saving for buying a house, you got your down payment, but make sure you have additional for closing costs, and then quite honestly, make sure you have an additional buffer, because you're always going to have to buy stuff when you get into the house. There's going to be something you need to fix, or something you need to paint, or something you need to buy new window coverings or whatever. There's always going to be stuff. So understand that it's not just that down payment. There's actually these additional costs called closing costs. In a buyer's market, you can often get the seller to help pay for those. Basically what you're doing in that instance is financing the closing costs. So they just basically go into your loan, you pay the seller more. They then use the proceeds from the sale to pay your closing costs. And you've then essentially rolled the closing costs into your loan. So that's the trade-off on that, but it can be worth it if you don't have the cash in hand, or you don't want to put out all the cash towards the closing costs. So many people overlook closing costs. The lender can estimate them for you very closely. Like they can get in a pretty good close ballpark about exactly how much your closing costs are. So that's another reason it's important to talk to your lender early instead of waiting, so that you can make sure that you have that money in place. Let me know what questions you have about this. Comment below, subscribe. I'll talk to you later.